Hello dear students, how are you? I hope you all are safe. Now today we will start a new chapter. The name of the chapter is Chemical Effect of Electric Current. Now we will discuss about this chapter. First we will discuss what is electric current. So electric current we know that what is current. We are using electricity in our homes. So electric current is the flow of charges per unit time. This is defined as flow of charges per unit time. The flow of charge per unit time is known as electric current. Electric current is denoted by capital I. Electric current is denoted by capital I, and its formula is I is equal to Q by T, where Q stands for charge, T stands for time, and I stands for current. Current is defined as the flow of charge per unit time is known as current. I is equal to Q by T, where I stands for current, Q stands for charge, and T stands for time. So from this formula, we can define that current is equal to charge upon time. Now we will discuss about SI unit. The SI unit of current is ampere. It is denoted by capital A. The SI unit of charge is coulomb. It is denoted by C. And we know that the SI unit of time is second. So I is equal to Q by T. The SI unit of current is ampere. We measure current in ampere. If you want to measure current, then you should measure current in ampere. Or if you want to measure current, then it should be measured in coulomb. And time we know we measure in second. SI unit of time is second. So we have one more unit for current. Ampere is equal to coulomb upon second. It can also be written CS minus 1. Coulomb per second, and it is also read as coulomb per second. So I is equal to Q by T is the formula of current. SI unit of current is ampere. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb upon 1 second. If the amount of charge is 1 coulomb and it will pass through a conductor in unit second, then the current will be 1 ampere. So if someone asks that define 1 ampere, then you can say that when 1 coulomb of charge is passed through a conductor in unit second, then the current is said to be 1 ampere. If someone asks define electric current, the flow of charges per unit time through a conductor is known as electric current. So these things are about electric current. Now we have a device also which is used to measure current. The name of the device is ammeter. Ammeter is a device which is used to measure electric current. How we will represent ammeter? This will be the symbol of ammeter. Ammeter is a device which is used to measure electric current. If you want to measure electric current, then you have ammeter. Without ammeter, you cannot measure current. So ammeter is a device which is used to measure current. The next thing is, if a current is flowing through a wire, how can you know that current is flowing through this wire or not? So for that we have a device which is known as tester. Simply in our homes we are using tester. When we put the tester in the switchboards, if it lights, it means current is flowing. If it does not light, right? It means current is not flowing. So tester is or electric tester is a device which is used to check the presence of current. Or we have one more device which is used to check the presence, that is galvanization. Galvanometer is also a device which is used to detect the flow of current. For electric, simply we will discuss about electric tester. In higher classes we will discuss about galvanometer. So electric tester is a device which is used that the current is flowing through a wire or not. How we will check? Suppose I am drawing a circuit diagram. This is the symbol of bulb, this is cell, this longer line represents positive terminal and the smaller line represents negative terminal. This is the key or switch. These are two open terminal of the circuit A and B. If we want to check any material that it is a conductor or insulator, then we will keep that material between these two terminals AB. If the bulb glows, it means it is a conductor. If the bulb does not glow, it means it is an insulator. Or simply electric tester, suppose this circuit is complete. If the bulb is glowing, it means current is flowing through the circuit. If the bulb does not glow, it means the current is not flowing through the circuit. So with the help of bulb, we can easily understand that current is flowing through a circuit or not. Suppose a wire is going from here, we want to check that the current is flowing through that wire or not, then take a bulb. If we connect that bulb, if the bulb glows, it means current is flowing. If the bulb does not glow, it means the current is not flowing through the wire. So this is a simple tester by which we can test if the amount of, or if this bulb is not glowing, what can be the possible reasons? Bulb may be fused, the connections may be loose, the cell may be used up, the key may be switched off. So these are the possible reasons by which the bulb cannot glow. Now, sometimes the bulb does not glow if the cell is working, if key is closed, terminals are joined and bulb is not fused. Then also sometimes bulb is not used. In that case we are using LEDs, light emitting diodes. LEDs, light emitting diodes. Light emitting diode, with the help of LED, we can check that the current is flowing through the circuit or not. If the LED glows, it means current is flowing through the circuit. If the bulb does not glow, it means current is not flowing through the wire or circuit. In which case we are using LED? If the amount of current is small, if a less amount of current is flowing through the circuit, in that case we will use LEDs. If a large amount of current flows through the circuit, then we can use bulb. Instead of these two, we have one more device which is used to check that the current is flowing through the wire or not. That is called coil wound on a magnetic compass. We know that magnetic compass is a device which is used to find the direction. Suppose this is a magnetic compass. This is magnetic needle, this is north pole and this is south pole. If we wound a wire around it in this way, and when we connect that wire through a cell, If the magnetic needle shows deflection, it means the current is flowing through the circuit. If the magnetic needle does not show any deflection, it means current is not flowing through the circuit. When we switch on the key, when we press the switch, if this needle shows deflection, अगर ये deflect करती है अपनी position पे, it means current is flowing through the circuit. If the needle does not show any deflection, it means current is not flowing through the circuit. This is also a tester which we can use to find that the current is flowing through a circuit or not. This is known as magnetic compass or coil bound on a magnetic compass. With the help of this also we can find that the current is flowing through the circuit or not. Now we will see about conductor and insulator. The material through which current can flow, those materials are known as conductor, and the materials through which current cannot flow, those are known as insulator. जिनमें से करंट पास हो सकता है वो कंडक्टर और जिनमें से पास नहीं होता है वो इंसुलेटर. The material through which current can pass or can flow known as conductor. The material through which current cannot flow, those are known as insulator. Now the question is how we can tell that the material is a conductor or insulator. So we have a circuit diagram. This is a circuit diagram by which we can tell that the material is a conductor or insulator. When the switch is closed, these are two terminals AB where the circuit is broken. When switch is closed, if we put any material in between these two terminals and if the bulb glows, it means that the material is a conductor. If we put that material and the bulb does not glow, it means that the material is an insulator. So by this we can tell that material is a conductor or insulator. Suppose if we cast an iron nail here, then the bulb will glow. It means iron nail is a conductor. If we put a chalk, then the bulb will not glow. It means chalk is an insulator. If we put a wooden block here, then also bulb will not glow. It means wooden block is an insulator. So if the bulb glows, it means the material is a conductor. If the bulb does not glow, it means that the material is an insulator. By this setup, we can also check that the liquids are conductor or insulator. Suppose I have a liquid in a glass. If I put that glass here, and if these two terminals are dipped in water, if the bulb glows, it means the liquid is a conductor. If the bulb does not glow, then it means liquid is an insulator. So by this setup we can tell conductor, insulator. We can check about the liquids also. So about liquid we are using two terms. These terms are electrolyte or non-electrolyte. Electrolyte is a chemical containing solution through which current can pass and which undergoes a chemical change at the same time, that is known as electrolyte. Non-electrolyte, the material which does not show any chemical change, that is known as non-electrolyte. So electrolyte, the chemical containing or compound which when current passes through it will show a chemical change in it. It means that is an electrolyte. If it does not show any chemical change, it means that is an non-electrolyte. Electrolyte, a solution which conducts electricity and at the same time undergoes a and the chemicals which do not conduct electricity and does not go any interchange, that is known as non-electrolyte. Example of electrolyte is HCl, NaOH. Example of non-electrolyte: petrol, kerosene. These are the example of non-electrolyte. And electrolyte, the liquid which conduct electricity and at the same time undergoes a chemical change, that is known as electrolyte. Non-electrolyte, the chemicals which does not conduct electricity and does not undergo any chemical change, those are known as non-electrolyte. If the bulb glow, it means it is an electrolyte. If the bulb does not glow, it means it is an non-electrolyte. Here we have these two terminals. These terminals are known as electrodes. Electrode, the metal wire or rods through which current enter or leave an electrolyte, known as electrodes. Suppose in this beaker we have electrolyte or HCl we have in this beaker. Then these two metal wires or rods, these are known as electrodes. The metal wire or rods through which current enter or leave an electrolyte, those are known as electrode. We have two types of electrode: cathode and anode. Electrode, the metal wires or plate through which current enter or leave, known as electrolyte. We have two types of electrolyte: cathode and anode. Now what is cathode and what is anode? The metal wire which is connected to the positive terminal, that is known as anode. Positive, that is known as anode, and which is connected to the negative terminal, those electrodes are known as cathode. The metal wire which is connected to the positive terminal of the cell or battery, that is known as anode, and which is connected to the negative terminal of cell or battery, that is known as cathode. So in this diagram, this terminal B, this is connected with the positive terminal of this cell. So this is anode, and this A terminal, this is connected with the negative terminal of the cell. So this A terminal is known as cathode and this B terminal is known as anode. The metal wire which is connected to the positive terminal of the cell or battery, that is known as anode, and the metal wire or plate which is connected to the negative terminal of the cell or battery, that is known as anode. So we have two types of electrodes here, anode and cathode. Anode positively connect and cathode negatively connect terminal. Now when current passes through HCl solution, this HCl will break into H positive and Cl negative. This HCl will break into H positive and Cl negative. These H positive and this Cl negative, these are known as ions. Now what are ions? The electrically charged atoms or group of atoms which are formed in an electrolyte when current passes through it, known as ions. The electrically charged atom or group of atoms which are formed when the current passes through an electrolyte, known as ions. This H positive and this Cl negative, these are known as ions. We have two types of ions. Anion and cation. What are ions? These are the electrically charged atom or group of atoms which are formed when electric current passes through an electrolyte, then the ions form. We have two types of ions, anion and cation. These cations, these are positively charged ions. The positively charged ions which are formed in an electrolyte when current passes through it, known as cations, and the negatively charged ions which are formed when current passes through an electrolyte, these are known as anions. So here in HCl solution, H positive, so this H positive is known as cation, H positive, and this Cl negative is known as anion. The positively charged ions are known as cation and the negatively charged ions are known as anion. In this HCl, H positive and Cl negative will form. So H positive cation and Cl negative anion. Similarly in NaOH, Na positive and OH negative will form. Na positive and OH negative will form. So this positively charged, this is known as cation, and this negatively charged ion known as anion. So the positively charged ions are known as cation and the negatively charged ions are known as anion. These are the basic terms which we will read in this chapter. Now we have a process for chemical effect of electric current. The name of that process is electrolysis. If you know electrodes, then you can easily define electrolysis. Electrolysis is the process in which the current passes through an electrolyte and the electrolyte undergoes a chemical change that is known as electrolysis. The process in which the current passes through an electrolyte and the electrolyte undergoes a chemical change, that process is known as electrolysis. When current passes, then only ions will form. When current passes, then only if cell or battery is connected, then only we can define cathode and anode. So these all terms we will read in this electrolysis or in this chapter, chemical effect of electric current. Related to current, we have few more terms which are used in the circuit. Now we will discuss few basic terms about current. This is known as electric circuit. Continuous path for the flow of current from positive to negative terminal, that is known as electric circuit. We have this is an electric circuit. This is key, this one cell, this one bulb, and these are connecting wires. This is a simple electric circuit. What is key? A device which is used to open or close the circuit, that is known as key, or this is also known as switch. We have two types of switch, open switch and closed switch. If the terminals are joined, then it is known as closed switch. If the terminals are not joined, then it is known as open switch. Similarly, we have two types of electric circuit, open circuit and closed circuit. If the circuit is broken from somewhere in which current cannot flow, that is known as open circuit. If the circuit is not broken from anywhere and current easily flows through that is known as closed circuit. So we have two types of circuit, open and closed. Similarly, we have two types of switch, open switch and closed switch. Cell, a device which converts chemical energy into electric energy, that is known as cell. Bulb, a device which converts electric energy into light energy and heat energy, that is known as bulb. So these are the basic terms about electric circuit. We have discussed all these things. You have to revise these terms, and in next class we will study about electrolysis and electroplating. These are the two important processes in this chapter. We will discuss about these in next class, electrolysis and electroplating. You have to revise these things